Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance Podcast. My name is Ron Tate and with me is my co-host, Isabel Tate. Welcome, Isabel.
You got to watch this on YouTube, everyone. The excited look on his face. He's like a kid in a candy store. I thought I would deign to let Ron introduce.
You could have warned me.
I know.
All I got was a look.
I just looked at him. But you see, you understand.
Yeah, I do, yes.
Well done. You did really well. And look, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see our beautiful dishcloth. Right?
Oh, yes, lovely.
And Ron we've just got back from the gym. Ron has been for a run. We haven't put the mashed potatoes on. Oh, and last time we were cooking mashed potatoes, we're having mashed potatoes again.
It's mashed potato Tuesday.
You wouldn't know I don't like. Yeah, it was Tuesday too. Yeah. And we're having vice versa sausages, which are German sausage. Which
been looking forward to it.
So good. I've converted you, haven't you? Yeah. You've never tried them before. No. They are the bomb. Try them. Anyway, so we're here to chat all things running once again. Anything to talk about in the running universe? Anything that you wanted to you've been keeping up to date? We should do that. We should try to keep up to date with the Australian sort of running stuff.
Yeah, all I know is last weekend the Woodlands run was
Woodlands Trail Run was on, and Nikki Wind won the 40 Nikki Wind the 42 Ks. But it was only,
it sounded like it was a good,
she said we should go run there or something. Only 585 meters climbing in 42 Ks, but she said just beautiful trails and all that sort of stuff. That's a Trails Plus event. Great to support Brett out there. And I do know Butter, the 48 hour is coming up, I think the long weekend.
Queen's birthday long weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Nikki Wind is doing the 24 hour there, and my friend Cassie Smith is doing the 48 hour. Good luck, Cassie. I'm sure you'll do super well.
And where is that?
It's in Queensland.
Okay.
And because Cassie's going to be coming for me the following week oh my God, I've lost the ability to talk. I cannot say it. I cannot say it. I want to say the Brisbane Trally Vale, and I just get all muddled and confuddled, and it's just not worth the effort.
The Brisbane Valley Rail Trail.
And in really good news, Ron has had his leave request approved. Yes. So we will be going to Europe.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So we're going to be broke soon.
Yeah.
Even more broke. I did the calculations for this Brisbane race, and it's already costing me minimum $1,000 because just over 500 for the flights, 250 to enter. You want to have road shoes, and so I thought I better get a decent pair of road shoes, 250 for that. So there's $1,000, and thankfully, I'm staying with Cassie, so at least I don't have to pay for accommodation, because bloody hell, this is getting really expensive.
You need to learn.
Why did you come up with this stupid idea, Ron?
Yeah, true. You need to learn to run in Converse.
Yes.
No, what are those?
Volleys.
Volleys, yes. Yeah. You need to learn to run in volleys.
Everyone did back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd get no injuries.
Imagine what you'd save. I mean, look at all your shoes and the amount of money you've spent on shoes. Imagine if you ran in volleys.
I'll just be grateful that I wear all the dead running shoes to work. So they're like my work shoes too. It's honestly, I'm getting double mileage out of them.
Yeah, that's right. I can't wear mine to work because I don't have steel capped.
No, steel capped runnings. No, although when I at the prom hit that whatever it was that ripped off my toenail.
But you wish you had steel caps.
Oh God, I really wanted steel cap then. It literally ripped it off. Mind you, I don't know. Anyway, so just one of the many issues then.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
All right. We are talking about why you need to have a coach, or why it would be, nobody needs a coach, I guess. Why it's a good idea to have a coach. Yeah. Well, I think you do need a coach. But what I find, the reason why I wanted to talk about this was, you think about it in any other sport, basketball, tennis, any kind of sport, you get a coach. Football, swimming, you get a coach.
Yeah.
You don't just go out and play and hope to do well in competition. without a coach.
That's
like
right.
literally no other sport.
Yeah.
But in running, off you go.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
buy yourself a pair of shoes and you
Yeah.
go out running and
Yeah.
expect it to
And expect
improve.
it. Yeah. And, you know, and it's like, I don't understand it.
Mm.
Sure, we're not teaching you as a coach, you know,
How to run.
Yeah. Because
if you don't know by now.
well, there are, you know, I like to do running drills and that sort of stuff, but how you run is pretty much how you run. And I am not a big believer in correcting that because it just leads to more injuries.
Yep.
It's, you know, strengthening what you've got, which is why I'm such a big believer in strength training. But so we're not doing that like in, say, basketball where you're doing drills and all that. But running is a much more nuanced sport than at first glance.
Yep.
Yes, as a mountain biker, I used to laugh disdainfully at running and go, why do people buy running magazines? How many times can you write, put one foot in front of the other? Like literally, how do you fill a magazine with that? Because for me, mountain biking, you know, there was heaps, you know, learning about bike mechanic and stuff and, you know, and technical stuff in cycling, I thought. And really, when I look back at it now, it's like, yeah, a lot of it was just articles on races.
Yeah.
But running is actually, and then I started running and then I'm like, whoa, there's a lot more to this than I thought. And a lot more to developing fitness than just going out and running hard a couple of times or every single time like you used to do in your great wisdom.
How long do you think you were running before you realized that you needed? Because you didn't have a coach per se, but you had someone who was advising you on training techniques.
I met Peter Mitchell, so I was running, and I think that's when I came like third at Great Ocean Road Marathon, and then I went and did the Maroondah Dam 30K, and I won that, breaking the course record. And I met him then, and he was like looking at, you know, that I reckon you could go sub 3 in a marathon. And so he said he would coach me. I had been right from the start. I hadn't just got plans off the internet. I bought a bunch of books, read all up on it. That's just the kind of person I am. You also have to remember I came from a cycling background where I was racing. My coach then had been an Olympian and had imparted a lot of knowledge to me. And I'd done a lot of training. Admittedly, I reckon I probably would have benefited more from a coach when I was cycling because I overtrained to the bejesus. But we hadn't even heard of tapering back in those days, you know. But I think maybe a coach might have and would have helped me. But I didn't just go into it half-assed. Like I did a lot of reading and all that sort of stuff. But still, what the biggest thing with Peter was he used to run with me when I was doing my quality sessions because I was not doing my quality sessions hard enough.
Right.
That was my thing. I wasn't running hard enough. Because back then, of course, didn't have GPS with the pace on it. Now I don't need to run with my clients because I tell them what pace they need to run at and then they run at that. But I was going, oh yeah, this is a sort of a hard pace, and you know, and I was improving because I was a beginner, but that was pretty much the only reason. So he taught me how to push hard, and oh my God, it used I used to not be able to sleep Monday and Wednesday nights because I was so terrified of the speed session the next day. Literally terrified. But I just find it interesting that people, you know, like you said, buy runners, but you think about it, I spent, well, it was probably a little bit more than 250, closer to 300 on my runners, and that's just one pair. You know, and you go through them fairly quickly. So people are spending a lot of money on runners. We've looked at race entries. That's bloody expensive. You think about this Queensland race, $1,000, and I'm not even there yet, right? And they spend all this money, and then they just fudge through their training. And they just go, oh, just give it a crack, see what happens. Like, I don't know. That seems like a false economy to me. What are your thoughts? You tell me, because you didn't get a coach at first.
No. And
you trained for all your events without a coach.
I did. And, you know, I'm not the sort of person that reads up on things, and I just kind of, you know, go out and just run. You know, run and you know, I'm not your average person in that I wasn't focused on improving, because running for me was just running.
So then why would you run harder? And you've told me, oh, I want to run it faster and blah, blah, blah. So
because
surely
I didn't,
that's improving.
Because I didn't know any better. Like I thought you had to push like running was pushing yourself. Like I didn't really.
You didn't know there was such a thing as easy runs?
No, I didn't. I definitely didn't know there was such a thing as easy runs. I kind of got, I got bored with these. Like if I was running with a group that were running slower than me, I would get bored because I thought it was doing nothing, and I thought it was just wasted time pretty much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. And yet they're the most important, not the most important, but very important. Well, the most important for building your mitochondria and your whole aerobic base. And, Lydiard really spoke about having that base of the house, and without it, you can't build the rest.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I was concerned, the only way you improved was by running faster.
And how'd that work?
Oh yeah, it worked really great. It worked good until I got to a point where I wasn't going any faster.
Yeah, funny that. Yeah.
And then, then injuries got in the way, and you can't run fast when you're injured or when you've got niggles. So, and then, in summer I'd still try and run fast and just, die because it was too damn hot.
So what would happen if you're going for a trail run? Because you can't run a trail run at full pelt the whole time.
No, but I'd try and run it as hard as I could. Like I wasn't running at the same pace as if I was running on the road, but I was running it at the same effort.
God, you would have been shit to run with.
Oh,
Just saying.
I tended to lead the runs that I was doing because
leave them in your dust?
Because I would, always be taken off in front of them.
Yeah. No. Anyway, I mean, I get that to a certain. No, I don't. I was never of that mentality because, I like to push myself. I always did, but I also like to enjoy the process. Did you enjoy the process?
Yeah, because I enjoy running.
Even though it was hard all the time?
Yeah, because that's all I knew. I didn't know any different. I thought that's what running was. But I still enjoy running because, that's why.
So when you run slower now, do you enjoy that?
Yeah, because I know that's a necessary part of running.
You were going to say necessary evil?
No, I wasn't. No, because I understand the process more. I understand that is a part of running is, running easy. So it hasn't diminished my enjoyment of running. So
fair enough. And do you think you have improved as a runner by polarizing your training a bit more, easy, hard, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my fitness and stamina and my ability to, do long runs has improved.
Oh my God, you
100-fold.
Just in case you don't know, dear listener, when Ron and I first met, I used to have to, luckily we're in lockdown, so actually I shouldn't be saying this, but I do my long run during the week because Ron wasn't up to doing long runs.
Yeah, that's right.
You couldn't do more than 20K.
No.
So I would do my long run on
long enough for you.
Yeah, on a Wednesday, and I wasn't even going that long. Because in an hour you can't do that much.
When you say an hour, do you have to go an hour?
Yeah, pretty much with your air quotes.
With air quotes.
But also not all of that time are we in that kind of a lockdown. Some of the lockdown just, non-essential workers like teachers weren't allowed to work while the people working at the bottle could work because that was pretty fucking essential. Sorry, I just swore, but don't even get me started on that one. Yes, I know all the poor alcoholics, but what about the poor kids? Anyway,
let's not go there.
Let's not go there. I'm not Twitter. Okay, so I have got notes here. That's why I'm umming and ahhing. So also a lot of people like to use online plans. I find those just generic ones, they're too generic. Even the books I got were way more specific than that. I first started with Advanced Marathoning by Fitzinger. And some other guy won.
You said that really well.
Because it's PFTIZ. It's really hard to say. I don't know. I can't say some words. And then I went on from there. And that was because I was training for marathons at the time. So I didn't go for beginner level either.
Yeah.
But a lot of the online plans are extremely generic. They'll go run easy for an hour, then run easy for an hour with a little bit harder. And I've seen some of these generic plans, and it's like, how would you even train to that? Like, it's literally all easy. And I'm all for easy, like your easy runs, but it shouldn't be all easy. You need your 80-20 basically, your efforts on, say, Tuesday and Thursday, and your long run shouldn't be completely easy. Like, it's not a walk in the park. You should still be pushing it a bit up the hills and that sort of thing. And like when we do our hill repeats on a Sunday, we're not just cruising completely, are we?
No, we're not.
So, those generic plans, I'm sorry, off the internet, I think are no good. You have to pay for things. Like, I bought those books, and you might have to pay for a plan, but stuff you get for free, it's free for a reason, because it's pretty generic and they're trying to cover all bases. So you've just spent $300 on your shoes, pay for something, like it's not that bad to pay for something. The other thing is that coaching is an investment. It's an investment in yourself, right? To reduce injury and those sorts of things. But also, I don't know about you, but I find when I pay for something, I'm more likely to use it. If it's free, less likely to feel obligated to use it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say about that point?
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Absolutely, if you're forking out your hard-earned for it, then it means a lot more to you. It's a lot more significant.
And you're going to be more likely to follow the plan rather than just go, I couldn't be fagged today. I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, it's raining. Oh, I'm tired. Whereas if you know that you're paying someone, it's kind of like, well, what a waste of money. And nobody wants to waste money. I'm all for spending money for things that are of value, but I'm not into wasting money. Mm-hmm. So, it will be more likely to make you train. Hopefully a coach should help you train correctly if they are qualified. Now, once again, I get on this bandwagon. Just because someone was previously a good runner does not mean that they are a coach. It just means they used to be a good runner.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because people have gone to school and been a student, does that make them a teacher? No. Right? It means they've been to school in an educational institution, and a teacher has actually got a degree, right? Same with a coach. I've got numerous certifications. There's lots of coaches out there with certifications. They don't even have to have ever been a good runner to be a good coach. And in fact, some of the best coaches, I've done some research on this, and I can't remember the exact names because it was a while ago, but some of them were just very average runners. They weren't anything special, but they excel at being a coach, because a coach sees things the runner can't see.
Yep.
They do all the work and do all the research to find out what methodologies work best.
And why.
Yeah. Someone who is a good runner goes, do this, it worked for me, now you do it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, N of one, where's the scientific basis of that? There is none.
Yeah.
Sure, it worked for them. There is no... It might work for you, but it might not. They might have such a robust body they can do 200 kilometers a week, but you can't.
Yeah.
A variety of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how do you think people feel when with that? What do you see as being the sort of the opinion of people in regards to whether a coach should be qualified or just once upon a time a good runner?
I think people get caught up in saying,
I'm coached by so-and-so who used to be a really good runner.
That's right. I think they get caught up in the name of the person rather than their skill set.
Yeah.
What you say is completely correct. Just because you've done something and done something well doesn't mean you know how to teach it or you know how to coach it.
Yeah.
Especially if you were being coached at the time and you were basically being told what to do, then the only thing that you have to offer to a potential client is what you were told.
Yes, that's true.
And how you did it. So
and the coaching philosophy has changed a lot over time, and lots of different things happen, and I am, constantly updating my certifications, as we all know, because I do love to study.
We have 2 bookshelves full of running books.
And I would buy more, but I'm buying shoes.
Yeah, that's right. We've run out of space for the books, and the shoes are more important.
And I'm getting them on Kindle now.
Yeah, that's right. Andy getting them.
You don't even know. So I mean, I just think coaches should be qualified. I think, and it takes us from just, someone telling you what to do to an actual profession. It's, this is, I think I like when I coach, like I'm trying to make people's lives better, not just physically with their running, but it brings such a good feeling when people are doing well in running that it can change their whole outlook on life. And that's also what I'm there for.
Yeah.
Because it's not just that I want everyone to become this awesome runner. I just want them to be happier in life.
Yeah.
And running is part of that. And, and I think they're going to be happier in running and in life if I'm coaching them correctly, the correct methodologies that is less likely to get them injured. There's no guarantees in running, sadly, like any sport. But, we can reduce the chances and we can make sure you're training properly so that you actually peak on race day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And if you're following some,
what worked for Joe Blow.
Yeah, then yes, that might have worked when they did that, 100K race. But if you're training for a 50K race, it's hardly going to,
that's right.
Work.
Yeah. So I think you really need to look at the coach that you're getting, if you're planning on getting coach, and make sure that they're actually qualified. They may be the most lovely person on the planet, don't get me wrong, and have the best intentions. I totally get that, but I still think they need to be qualified. Just like you wouldn't send your kids to school and go, well, they've been to school before, they can teach.
Yeah.
Right? Believe you me, I'm a teacher too, which I think helps my coaching so much. It takes a lot of skill to be a teacher. So you wouldn't want just anybody who has no clue teaching. So yes, so there's that. Then also one of the benefits of having a coach is the coach does all the thinking for you. You don't have to get up each morning going, oh God, what am I doing this morning? What run should I do? I'll just go easy, or I'll just run hard every single day. But they basically do the thinking for you. And if you're a busy person, time crunched runner, the last thing you want to be doing is figuring out, and we all know how mentally draining it is. You've got to figure out what you're wearing to work that day, what you're taking for lunch, what you're cooking for dinner, what you're doing, all the figuring out. And that's just one less thing. I know a lot of my clients say that is one of the things that they absolutely love about having a coach is they don't have to think about it. They go, they look at the app the night before. Yep, that's what I'm doing. That's what Isabel's planned for me. They get up in the morning, press run on the watch. It says, do the workout. Yep, click the workout, bang, done.
Yeah.
All they have to do is get up and run. Obviously, check out the plan before, don't just, but still, the coach should do the thinking for you and make it easy for you to fulfill your training program. I mean, you even think about when we go to the gym, say, for instance, and we get there and I'm like, what do you want to do? And you're like, I don't know, you're the personal trainer. You figure it out.
You're the one that's supposed to be the expert.
I'm like, I'm so sick of figuring it out all the time. I'm like, why can't you think of anything? And you're like, but you're the person. I'm like, all right, I'll do the thinking again. But in saying that, it's true. Like I am, like if Ron, if you ended up saying, let's do this and this, I'd probably go, yeah, no.
Yeah, no, that's not going to help.
That's crap.
Or you'd say, oh, we did that last week. We're not doing it again.
And you'd be going, exactly. That's why we're doing. So, getting the expert knowledge. And it's not that I don't know what to do. It's that sometimes I even don't want to think. I don't want to think sometimes too, especially when I've been at school all day with the kiddies.
Yeah.
And a coach
and a couch
holds you accountable. So, all my clients' runs get loaded. I don't look at every single run that every single client does every single day, but in general, I check on these things and make sure that they're following the program mainly. Sometimes they might cut a run a little bit short or put an easy run on a different day, but basically everything's the same. And I make sure that they're getting their runs done, and they know that I'm keeping an eye on it, and they know that they've got to try and hit the paces because I'm going to be checking and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, I talk with the client and say, how does that pace feel? If it feels too hard, then we'll adapt. But, there's that accountability factor. I know when you've done your runs, when I've given you a workout, you like to come home and show me as well.
Yeah.
And we go through it a bit, don't we? And I talk about how it felt for you, those sorts of things.
Yeah. I'm very much a by the book sort of person. So if Isabel sets me something, I will do it exactly. Like, I won't fudge it. I won't.
No, absolutely.
I won't, go out and go, oh, I didn't really feel like it, so I only did 6Ks instead of 10.
When there's a pace, right, that I've given you,
yeah,
like, some of those 4:17 pace, do you ever go faster because that's what you want to do?
No, but I will generally, because
you sometimes go
on the app it gives you a range.
Yes.
And I will generally target the lower part of the range.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just accidentally go under.
Oh, you do. And if it's slightly downhill, that sort of thing. I know what you do, but I just wanted everyone else to know. But because you are the kind of person that generally just wants to run hard all the time. So anyway, that's interesting. But the coach will set you paces because there are actual physiological benefits to running at different paces. If it was all just about running hard, then that's what we do. But sometimes running hard is not the answer. Tempo, marathon pace, all these different paces. Then there's interval, and then there's really fast pace, and there's hill sprint pace. All these different paces mean that you will then have the different gearing available come race day. That thresholdy marathon pace that you can sustain for a long time, the sprint pace for when you're trying to, pass someone else, or you're trying to get up a hill or something like that, those sorts of things. Any comments?
No comments on that.
Okay. So it also should be a learning experience. So do you feel that with me as your coach, that you've learned a bit more about running as well?
Yeah, as I said, like, my biggest learning, has been about pacing and about, the benefits of different paces.
You've really learned a lot about pacing.
And consistency as well. Although I had a feeling that was the way to go, I hadn't been able to achieve consistency, mainly because I was always in pain, and without the accountability of a coach, I was
just doing whatever you felt like, which was not much because it hurt too much, which is what all that hard running had done to you as well. So basically I like my clients to sort of, I talk to them about learning the feeling of the different paces, so that come race day, because obviously in a trail race, if you are racing trails, pacing doesn't work, right? Because it depends on the trails. You've got to learn that feeling. And I know a lot of my clients have said their pacing's really improved, and even some of my clients who run marathons and run on the road, that their pacing has really improved, because I talk to them about pacing and RPE and all these different things. But I want clients to learn also, or I hope that they learn, about the value of consistency, the value of speed work. And, a lot of them say, oh, I've never really done speed work, but oh my God, I'm loving it. And I'm really can see the benefits and, all these different things. And also the value of not doing too much, because they want to go off and do these huge, humongous long runs. But I prefer to sort of balance it out during the week and then slowly build the muscle. And all these different things, I think you should be learning from a coach. Not enough to be your own coach, because even if you wanted to be a coach eventually, as a job or whatever, you would want to learn a bit more. Or even if you wanted to coach yourself, you would definitely want to learn a bit more than just what you get from your coach. But, I think it should be a learning experience for you, that you are gaining insights into how your body reacts to training and what works for you.
Yeah. And the other thing I learned, it was the value of backing up, after a long run, because quite often we'll do our long runs on a Saturday and then we'll do something on a Sunday.
And you never used to do that,
no,
did you?
No.
So what did you learn from that?
That's a a good strength building and stamina building.
Yeah, and we don't do anything like super pacey. We'll do hill repeats and when I say hill repeats, we're not sprinting up them. They're like long ones, but we'll do something a bit more strength orientated. So Saturday will be more of a running kind of day. Like this weekend, we're going to do 42 Ks running on the Warby Trail.
Yeah.
And then the next day we're going to do Lyrebred hill repeats. So we're kind of working on both.
Yeah.
Because I've got different kind of races coming up, we're really working on both. Normally I would specifically target one area of an athlete's program if they were, doing a rail trail or if they were doing hills. But because I've got to be ready for everything.
We're training for everything.
We're training for everything. I am, and thus Ron is. Yes.
Yep.
So anyway, I really think, that coaching isn't just for elite athletes. It's not just for the top of the cream of the crop runners. It's for everyday people who want to get the most out of their time. You running, you're making time for this. It's a big time commitment. It's a financial commitment. You want to make sure it bloody works, don't you?
That's right.
You want it to be efficient. You want to get the biggest bang for your buck. And that's where I think a coach can help you.
Mm-hmm.
And and there's a lot of benefits, and it could be just maybe even just for one race, for one special race or something like that. But I just think coaching is can have a huge impact.
Yeah, I mean, and some of us spend 15 hours a week. Not too many of us spend 15, but some of us spend up to 10 hours a week doing this. So you might as well do it properly.
Yes.
10 hours out of a week is a long time to spend doing something if you're just floundering along and not improving.
Yeah.
So, a coach will help you to target, spend that 10 hours actually efficiently, rather than just floundering along.
Yeah, just running. I mean, and if all you're wanting to do is run, then that's fine. That's fine. Like, you don't need a coach if you're just running. But even then, I still think you should do some speed work, because otherwise you'll just slowly get slower and slower and slower. And I understand the temptation, especially older runners, of just wanting to run easy all the time. This morning when I got up and I was going to do I did do my quality session. I'm like, I just want to go for an easy run. Can't I just run easy? And I'm like, no, coach said intervals.
Yes, that's right.
So, but also a coach is someone, like I said, you can learn with, someone you can communicate with. Like, sometimes your partner or whoever doesn't, or your kids definitely don't want to hear all about your bloody running all the time. Your coach does. I mean, your coach is interested. Someone who can talk things through with you, get perspective. I mean, I'm constantly all day text messaging clients, and they're like, what do you think of this? Or I'm feeling this. And I'm the one there to give them perspective, to give them feedback, to let them know feeling like that's okay, or saying, no, all right, let's move this. Like, it's a huge, you are not just paying for that plan. You are paying for a lot more, all that ongoing communication. You need to factor that in as well. If you think, it's too expensive, all I'm getting is a plan. Well, no, you're getting a lot more than that.
Yeah.
You're getting that, direct access to the coach's knowledge and the coach's support, because obviously they want you to do well. And if your coach isn't doing that, then you need to ask why. Why aren't they doing that?
Yeah.
Because they should be there, accessible to chat about these things, maybe not directly on the phone every 5 minutes, but certainly texting, or emailing or something. You need to have that. And I think that is a huge part of it. Just having someone who understands you, what you're doing, what your goals are, why it's so important to you, because God knows we know nobody else does. We're very lucky that we are married and both love running.
Yeah.
But I know my ex-husband hated it. I was not allowed to speak a word of running, wasn't allowed to have any running magazines around, because then he would see them. I wasn't allowed to stretch or roll or anything to do with running. So when you're in that position, you need someone that you can talk to about running.
Yeah.
So, find it. I mean, I'm pretty sure your ex-wife didn't want to talk about your running. Or she didn't care.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely.
So it's like, that's where a coach can be really helpful. I mean, I'm not saying everyone's in that kind of shitty situation, but even the best partner if they're not a runner, they're going to get bored.
Yeah, that's right.
When you talk about
That's right.
running.
I've
Like,
heard
seriously.
it before. It's nothing new.
Yeah. Oh, you ran. How awesome. Great. Thanks for sharing. So, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, not everyone has it as terrible as we did say, but certainly because we did, it makes you appreciate how nice it is
Absolutely
to have someone that you can talk about running with, and, you know,
yeah.
and that sort of stuff. But, you know, a coach is there for you to be that person and to be your support network and those sorts of things. I mean, like I said, I've paced clients in races before.
Yeah.
I love to do all that sort of stuff. So anyway, if you haven't thought about getting a coach, get a coach, research them, find out, you know, someone who trains people in what you particularly want to do, and just check in and make sure that they are qualified, and probably have insurance too would be a good idea, those sorts of things. And I'm sure those people who've been good runners are awesome people, and they may very well be, you know, able to produce some good runners as well. But I think you're increasing your chances if you go with someone who's actually qualified. So do your due diligence, because it's, you know, you are spending your hard-earned dollars. Yeah. So do your due diligence, and make sure that you're getting someone who actually is certified, qualified.
Yeah.
All the affides.
All the affides.
All of the affides, indeed. And anyway, so that's the podcast.
That's it.
What else do we have to say?
Not
a lot.
No,
do you know what the worst thing in podcasting is?
What?
Blank airspace.
So let's just keep on talking.
You got to either keep on talking or end it.
Right. See you later.
But no. It's just sometimes you spend time thinking and you're not allowed to think.
Okay, you got to talk without thinking.
Yes, I do that all the time, and it's never gone badly in my whole life.
It's never got you in trouble?
Not at all, all the time. Well, not so much in trouble, but just into very embarrassing situations. You know, those ones where you go back over that conversation, you go, I said that?
I can't believe I said that.
I wasn't even drinking.
So many other things, and that was what I came up with.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh well, anyway, we hope you're having a great run. As always, don't forget Flex Beam. Go and get yourself one. Do yourself a favor, but then also do us a favor after you've bought the Flex Beam. And could you rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts? You can rate on Spotify, but I don't think you can review. But if you follow us on Spotify, you just go into the top right-hand corner, the 3 little dots, and you tap on that, and then you can rate.
Yeah.
Have you rated us yet? I've rated me on Apple Podcasts before.
Maybe I should, yeah.
Well, of course you can. I can on Spotify because I follow it. Oh, bugger it. Because rating helps us.
Okay.
It helps the podcast.
How often can you rate? Can I
only once, sadly. I tried to do it more. Apple Podcast wouldn't let me. No. I'm like, why can't I do it again?
I don't listen on Apple, but maybe I should. Maybe I can go across and do it.
You don't have to listen on Apple to rate. On Spotify you have to listen, and I listen through Apple Podcasts. Right. So anyway, to stop me having to re-rate a million times, could you do it, please? I'd really appreciate it if you did, and it just really helps the podcast. Now, don't forget, like you said, because we have got this leave, we will be going to Europe. So if you're in Europe, come on, let us know. Didn't get any messages last time. I'm very disappointed.
I'll have to keep
those less than 1% in those European countries are not doing their bit.
Come on, 0.5. Get into gear.
Yeah, that's right. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We want to be like the Geo Wizard and meet up with our followers. If you haven't watched the Geo Wizard, what are you doing? Get onto YouTube.
Go onto YouTube. He's
and watch him as he kicks the soccer ball across England. He's run across England recently, I think.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah, and it looked a bit snowy. I think it was a bit shitey. So we'll have to do that one.
He's
so yes,
kicked a soccer ball across England. He's done it. He's moved in a straight line right across Wales.
And he hasn't done Scotland, has he?
No, he tried Scotland but didn't get there.
Yeah. Because it was during lockdowns, and he got in trouble.
But he did Norway. I think he went.
Oh yes, and that when he got stuck in a bog, that was very scary.
Yeah.
So anyway, check out Geo Wizard.
It's
not really ultra running per se, but some of the things he does, you need the ultra mindset.
And it's quite an adventure.
And it's definitely an adventure, or a mission, as he calls it. So, you know, pretty cool. I did send him an Instagram message to come on the podcast, but he never even read it.
Yeah.
Like, rude.
He must be exceptionally busy.
I think he's quite busy. So if you have access to Geo Wizard, can you message him and say, Isabel wants you on the pod, because I think he'd be funny and interesting. Anyway, so yes, rate, review, and subscribe. I think that's what I was trying to say.
Yes, that's what you said about 5 minutes ago.
I know, in my long-winded, waffly way. All righty, thanks for joining us. Enjoy your running. Let us know if you have a coach, or if you don't, why you have decided not to have a coach. And if you do have a coach, how you feel that helps you stay on the straight and narrow, or how it's helped improve your running, or whatever.
Whether it be motivation or desperation. Or
yes. Any other Asian? Yes. All righty. Next week, I know I said it was reframing failure, but I muddled it. I hadn't written that. I'm going to write that for next week, that podcast. And we will talk more about that. Now, if you ever want to also subscribe to my newsletters, I always have very interesting newsletters, but I'm also starting to put the transcript or the written notes from the podcast into the newsletters too. So I'm not doing that on the blog, but always check out my blog. I'm running lots of interesting articles about all different sorts of things: nutrition, weight training, running, mindset, all that. Just go to peakendurancecoaching.com.au, and if you see us out on the trails, make sure you say hello and say, we love the podcast.
And call out in a big loud voice.
Yes, because I'm deaf.
Because Isabel's deaf.
Deaf as a doornail.
Quite often we'll run past and I'll say, did you hear that? I think they called your name. She goes, what? What?
It's because I'm in the moment. I'm in the zone. I'm zoned. No, I don't wear my hearing aid. And when I'm tired, my tinnitus is so incredibly noisy that I can't really hear much at all. And when I'm doing ultras, I get tired. All righty.
So call out in a big loud voice.
Yes. Or even just say, Ron,
or call out to me and I'll respond.
Yeah, he will. All righty. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, night, morning, evening. I don't know. We're going to go and cook dinner.
Some dinner.
Have weisswurst and mashed potato.
Yummo.
All right, and Greek salad, because we're having all the nations tonight.
Yes, we are working our way through Europe. So we got Ireland, we got Germany, and we got
that's right.
Greece, all covered tonight.
Yes, indeed. Excellent. All right. See you later, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.